Shuremeko, apart from the string of degrees and qualifications that you have?
Okay, so aside from the string of degrees and everything, I like to say that Abela Shoremeku is first of all a wife and a
Okay,
mother. Okay,
okay,
those are my basic introduction of myself. And then the second thing is I am someone that is passionate about knowledge. I love
mm.
knowledge, and
All
I'm
right,
passionate about knowledge, and I love to impact knowledge to other people because I
okay,
know there's a difference between the known and the unknown. He who knows
awesome.
has power over the unknown. And I used to tell people, I mean, there's a saying that says, I mean, there's a saying that people used to say in those days that what you don't know won't hurt you. But I tell people that what you don't know will not only hurt you, it may even alter the course of your life. I have an experience on that, but we don't want to talk about that now because we're talking about passion and purpose. So, I mean, in a nutshell, aside from saying all the things I have said, I mean, that's just about me. Passionate about knowledge, passionate about impacting people, teaching people through counseling, being a therapist, just making sure that people are living good lives. That is what I'm about.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, I mean, I know that we've shown up together. You've spoken on marriage, you've spoken on different areas, but now I think this journey about passion and purpose is something that you're really passionate about. Now, what led you to that?
Okay, let me just say one thing. I mean, in my experience as a counselor and then a little bit of a therapist, I've realized that, you know, when you counsel people, I mean, one of the things that I observed is that when people come to, especially those ones that have mental issues and are depressed and all that, the one thing I observed was when you talk to them about something that they love, everything changes about them. That smile comes and then things come alive. So it
Mm,
made me to start thinking that, look, then I started reading. And I mean, for me, of course, I mean, I was working before I mean, started doing what I'm doing now, which is actually my passion. But even while I was working, I still kept my passion by the side. I knew this was something I was going to do. So it made me thinking. I mean, got me really thinking, and I started to read and I started to, you know, observe people. And I realized that not living a purpose-driven life can also affect you. It can affect your marriage. It can affect even your person. Because when you're not living a purpose-driven life, it's like you're living a meaningless life, a life that has no meaning. You wake
mm,
up in the morning and you just wonder, oh, another day has come. Oh, what
mm,
am I? What a day! I mean, well, I mean, another. I mean, what a day! I'm going to go to that place again. I'm going to do this thing again. Whereas someone living a purpose-driven life is waking up energized and say, "Oh, another day, another opportunity for me to do something, to add value, to to do something." So that's the difference. And you see,
mm,
when you're living a life like that, when I mean you are emotionally compromised, you're not in your emotional well-being. And I can tell you, if you're emotionally compromised, you cannot make good relationships.
mm,
You cannot make good relationships in the office. You cannot make good relationships even in marriage. So these things add up. It really does add up. But a lot of people think to, we tend to overlook this aspect of it. And also, I tell you, marriage is also a mission. The purpose of marriage, like I always tell people, is companionship. Some people say, "Oh, marriage. I mean, it's okay." I was in a session one time, and then
mm,
someone was saying, "Oh, marriage is for procreation, for having children." And I said, "Look, in my own opinion, I said marriage is for companionship because in the beginning, the man and the woman they came together, they became husband and wife, and children came. In that time you nurture the children, then the children grow and then they go and make their own life. So what happens after that? Are you not left with the man, I mean with your spouse? So it's mainly for companionship. Children, of
mm.
course, is the fruit of marriage. I mean, God blesses us with the fruit of marriage. So these are the things. I mean, they add up, but a lot of us tend to overlook it. People who are living meaningless life are prone to depression, mental issues, you know. And they say if you're not finding your purpose, if you're not living your purpose, one of the things that can help you do that is your
Mm,
passion.
mm,
What you are passionate about, what someone will tell you, come and do this thing, and then you're able to do it for free. Yesterday I was talking to Collins Uwosu. Collins is someone that I think maybe I can say that even from the womb, he was already doing business, so Collins could go to people and say, look, let me help you run your business. Don't pay me. That is what passion is all about. So your passion will most likely lead you to your purpose. And so when you're living a passionate life, a purpose-driven life, you're a happy person. You wake up. I'm not saying you don't have challenges, you don't have anything, but you face those challenges heads on. So these are some of
Wow.
the things. Yeah,
Wow. Well, I just want to speak to this. The reason why some people, because I know that even while we're speaking to this, there's some people that they know their purpose, but they can't because they have to survive. They have to put food on the table.
Oh yeah.
They keep on pushing it away and say, "Look, how do I even pay my bills?" So can you speak to that?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I can speak to that. Well, we're not saying, if you want to live your purpose, walk in your purpose, live in your purpose.
Yeah.
It does not mean that you cannot have a career. Your purpose can be a side also. While you're still doing what you have, you can have your career, and then your purpose, your passion can be something like a side also that you can do maybe in your own free time until at that time when you now leave work and then face your purpose heads on. Okay, fine. You said something about some people, maybe they find their purpose, but they don't know how to connect. I always say that in the context of purpose, that there are three important, and there are three different types of people in the world in the context of purpose. There are people who are living purpose-driven lives. Congratulations to them. There are people who have not yet even discovered their passion or their purpose. And there are people who have discovered either their passion or their purpose, but they don't know how to connect. And there are some limiting factors stopping people. Such limiting factors could be bias. I had a session with Brown sometime last week. Sometime last week, I think it was Monday last week or Sunday last week, about bias. A lot of people are biased. What would people say? Some people, it may be biased about your looks. It may be biased about your background. Maybe social background or educational background, or fear of the unknown. So there's so many things like that limiting people. And when I was having a chat with Braun, I talked about a lady, that so inspired me so much at one of our John Maxwell IMC, Jamie Kenlima. She was somebody that was, she had self-doubt, she had, body doubt, she had everything. She had problems with her skin. And she used all sorts of makeup, but she still realized that those makeups do not just work on her skin. So what did she do? She said, okay, I'm going to create my own makeup, something that fits me. And I'm sure there'll be other people like me who may have the same problem. So she started her makeup, whatever, in her living room. And then she started growing, and then she was now, showing the products to people. And somebody actually told her that, look, nobody will buy makeup from somebody with your kind of figure. In the beauty industry, you have them tall and slim and, shapely and all that. But Jamie was nothing like that. She was just, according to me, of course, she's beautiful for me. Whatever shape that God has given us, it's for a purpose, and we're all beautiful. So, but she persisted. She could have been discouraged and say, maybe it's true what these people are saying, but she persisted, and at the end of the day, she was one of the first. She became one of the first, self-made Forbes. She made that list, and then she was she was the first CEO in 100 years of Lauren's existence. She ended up selling her makeup, IT makeup, for $1 billion. So that's bias on its own. Then fear of the unknown is also something. Then what will people say? There are a lot of us who live their lives for what will people say. I'm telling you, if you live your life for what will people say, if you allow people to limit you, you are doing yourself a disservice. You are doing yourself a disservice. It does not matter what people say. I tell you today, it does not matter your background, where you were born, whether you're born in Nigeria, whether you're born outside Nigeria. Whether you're coming from a poor background, whether you're coming from a rich background, whether you're coming from no education to non-education, it does not matter. And I tell people, you are the only one that can tell yourself that, look, I cannot get to where I want to be in life. As long
Wow.
as you've told yourself that, then that's it. You've limited yourself. But if you tell
Wow.
yourself that, look, this is me and this is what I want to do, I will get to this place and this is me. So as long as you've told yourself that and you're focused, not distracted, sorry, you will get to where you want to go in life.
Wow. You're rolling in all the answers into, because the next question you have almost answered, it's because I know it's because you're passionate about this area.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, well, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, my own journey has been quite interesting, I mean, for some of us, we started the journey of entrepreneurship a bit early, over 2 decades ago. And it's just now that people are seeing us and, they don't know the back end story.
They don't know the back end. They just see, last year when I was on TV, coach, I'm following you. When you went on TV, I also followed you. I went on TV. I was on channels, and so the presenter said, I was on channels for my book. On the book club, channels book club. So there was something very profound that the producer told me. He said he likes to appreciate the people behind the scene, the cameramen, the sound, and everything that people tend to look down on them, or rather, even not even look down, but even forget that they exist. But he said, without those people, there will be no production. Yeah, so sometimes people see the success, but they do not know what you've been through, behind. It's just like the iceberg. When you see the iceberg, what you see on top is just, a small percentage of what is actually below. So we're not saying here that, look, living a purpose-driven life, once you discover your passion, you discover your purpose, and you want to live your purpose, we're not saying that you don't have challenges. We're not saying that, definitely there'll be challenges. Let me tell you the story of Steve Jobs. Still, everybody knows the story of Steve Jobs. We're all using Apple. I'm using iPhone. I'm using this iPhone because somebody, decided to go on this thing and, created the Apple phone that a lot of us are using. So Steve Jobs, he went to school, he went to university, he was supposed to read a particular course, but he was not interested in that. So he actually left school, dropped out of school, but he didn't actually leave education. He was still in that school, and then he was now picking courses that they liked, and he was now attending courses that they liked until he finally found something where he learned the thing that he used for Apple. So he created Apple in his garage with a friend of his, 2 of them, and then in 10 years Apple became something big. And then also after that he ended up being kicked out of Apple. Can you imagine? How would you feel? You created a company, and then you're supposed to be enjoying the fruits of that company, then somebody kicks you out because he had an issue with some of the people, one of the personnel that they employed to come and help them. But because he still had this passion in him, he went, he could have been discouraged. He could have, been depressed. He could have been a changed man and say, okay, what's the point? You could have gone into all those things that people usually go into when things are not really going on well for them. But what did he do? He put himself together and started to work on his passion. Then he created 2 new companies in 5 years, and in a twist of fate, he ended up being back into Apple because Apple bought one of those companies. So this is what we're talking about. Your passion most likely will keep you from depression. It keeps you going. Even when you have challenges, it keeps you going because it is something that you live for. It is something that anybody will tell you to come and do, and you're ready to do for free. Like Collins, Collins, you're welcome. Like Collins told us yesterday.
Collins, you're welcome, my brother.
Yes, wow. He was actually begging people, let me help your company, and he was saying, I would do it for free. Likewise me. My passion is to impact knowledge, and if people call me, I will do it for free, because for me, if I'm able to touch one person, You know, like in my YouTube channels, I had this phrase that I used to say in my YouTube channel. I said, if each one can touch one, if one person can touch one person, and that other person touches another person, what a great world we have. This was a phrase that a late radio presenter used to say, Charles B. He said, if each one can reach one, and if each one can touch one, you know, it's a chain reaction. And
Okay.
then what a
All right.
great place
Now
the
let me
world
jump
will be.
in. Let me jump
Yeah,
in
yeah,
because
coach. Sorry,
I
I
know
mean,
you are so passionate.
give me the
Yeah,
microphone. I could talk
I
for.
know, I know, but we need to put some perspective so that you know
Yes, yes,
our
yes. Thank
audience
you.
can also enjoy. Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
what's the difference between the skill and the gift?
Oh, yes. Okay. A skill is something that you can do well. A gift is something that is inborn. Okay, let me say it in practical terms. Okay, my gift, I have the gift of teaching. I can teach people. Even while I was in school, you know, when I was anytime we're reading for exams, I'm always eager to teach people. When I've read something, I'm always eager to pass it on. I'll actually tell people that, look, I want to do this thing, you know. Then a skill is something that you acquire along the way. What are some of these skills? Let me give you an example. When I first started working, you know, started working in a company. In fact, let me just say, I'm one of those people that are actually blessed. I never had to look for a job for one day in my life. I never had to write an application because the company where I did my NYSC is the company where I also worked, you know, and I had my years of experience. So I remember that time, you know, when I first joined that company. You know, in those days, computers was, I mean, they were a big deal. You see those big frame things and all that when we were in school. We were not even allowed to touch it. It was like it was like one of those things that you put in the museum. So I got to this office and I saw the small computer, the desktop computer, and I was staring at what they put one in one office where no one was using. Everybody comes there to make photocopies, and so I was staring at this computer. I couldn't use it, but I so much wanted to use this thing. And then one of the one expatriate staff just came in. He walked into the room and he saw me staring at that computer. He said, "Oh, why are you staring at that computer?" I said, "I was just admiring." He said, "Can you use it?" I said, "No." He said, "If you want to last, if you actually want to survive in this company, you've got to know how to use that thing." And that was the word for me. So skill is something you acquire to to make your work better. So what did I do? I had to look for a way to learn the thing. I had
Now,
to go to
the purpose. Now, I want you to link purpose and gifts together.
yeah. Okay, so linking purpose and gift together. Remember the story, we know we're faith-based. Remember the story of the talents in the Bible. God gave one person 10 talents, 5 talents, 1 talent. Talents are just like gift. So God has given everyone a gift. There is no one that can say that I do not have something that God has deposited in you. And it is that gift that becomes your passion. It is that gift that becomes your passion, and it is that passion that now leads you to your purpose. Do you understand
Wow,
what I'm trying to say?
I
So
do. I
that
do.
gift is something that is I mean, when people tell me that, look, I cannot do this thing, oh, I don't think, I mean, there's anything I not do. I say no.
But
Like
what
when
do
I
you
was
need? What
talking,
do you need? How do you now bring that gift out? Because there's a lot of people that they don't even know their gift. They don't even know their passion, and they're just so overwhelmed because they are seeing so many things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to answer your question, coach, but that is expo. So that is meant for our session, the discovery
Wow.
session. That's why I'm
Now tell
telling
us
people
about
to
this
come.
discovery session coming up.
Okay, this discovery session is coming up on Wednesday
Okay.
this week at 4 p.m. West African time. So I'm telling
Okay.
people, register. It's a free event, but I want you to register because when you register, I'll be able to send you the notes or the notes for the event. You know,
Yeah.
the presentation for the event. You
Yeah.
know,
How
so I'm
long? How
telling
long
people
is it for?
it's just for 1 hour, and I'm telling them, come with your writing.
And what time
materials.
is it?
4 p.m. West African time. 4
So
p.m.
is the link in your bio?
Yes, there's a link in my bio that people can use to join. And if you're on LinkedIn, I always put it in my scripts on LinkedIn, on in Facebook, but on Instagram, the link is on my bio.
You
There's
said
a
you
Google
said 4
form.
p.m. on Friday.
No, on Wednesday,
On what?
Wednesday,
And now,
midweek.
how about those who are at work? How do they join?
I mean, it's a 1 hour event. I'm sure people will start closing by that time. I mean, I could have put it on a weekend, but people usually are engaged on weekends. So I said, let me put it at 4 p.m. Put it at 4 p.m. and then it's a 1 hour program, and then people can just easily just join, and then
Who is it targeted at, this purpose and passion webinar?
Okay, yeah, it's targeted at everyone. Everyone. You may be having a career, in the company where I worked, before I left. I knew that a lot of people had that fear of unknown, that look, after retirement, what comes next? And a lot of people actually are actually afraid. So it's for everyone, whether you're in a career, whether you're not in a career, whether you're a business person, whatever you're doing, as long as you are not living a purpose-driven life, you're living a purpose-driven life by yourself if you know what you're doing. If you're enjoying what you're doing. But if you are yet to discover your purpose, or you do not even know your passion, this program is for you. Just come. It's a discovery session. It's a coaching. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to be the one to tell you, oh, this is your passion, this is your purpose. But I'm going to put some questions that are reflective questions that are going to make you reflect on, those things that will bring out the inner you. Those things that have been there.
All right. Now, how about for people? How about what age group? The demographics. Is it for youths or for adults or for young adults or for married couples or for those in employment? Who are you targeting?
Yeah, I'm targeting everyone, I don't have any special demographic. But as long as, you're old enough. In Nigeria, our being old is 21 years old. 18 years, I think, is still a little bit too young. But anyone in that 21 years old, anyone that is 21 years old and above, can come for this session. If you're in a career, you can come for this session. I tell people that career, it's a need. You're fulfilling your needs. You need to have money. You need to pay the bills. You're fulfilling a need, also somebody else's need for opening that business in the first place.
Wow.
So you can still have your career. Career is not necessarily, may not necessarily be your purpose, but you can still be having your career and then have your purpose, knowing what you're going to do at the end of the day. Okay, let me give you an example. My daughter, she's a lawyer, but she loves, she's very interested in things that has to do with skin, creams and all that. So when she uses a cream, she tells her friends that, oh, okay, I use this cream and then it's nice, it does this, it does that. So I told her, why don't you open an Instagram? She said, how will it be that, I said, open an Instagram page and, start to tell people if you use a cream and it's good. And she's very passionate about people keeping their black skin. She said, black is beautiful. You don't need to go and start bleaching your skin and all that. I can tell you today, Goke, people, she's now an influencer. People actually send their products to her free of charge and say, please use this product and review for us. She's on Instagram and she's doing it. In fact, people actually also are ready to also pay her to be an influencer, to say, use this product. We are going to pay you for using this product,
awesome.
But put your review out there. So it's for everyone. My daughter is in her 20s. So it's for everyone. So even if it doesn't matter, even if you're retired, your purpose does not have to be one big thing. It may be, maybe you're passionate about, feeding people. You can be a farmer. If you're still, you don't have to be the one doing the farming yourself. If your desire is to make sure that there's food enough for everybody, you can be a farmer. If your passion is like you like to meet people's needs, you can join an NGO and do something. It doesn't have to be something so big, but it is something that will add value to people, that is touching humanity, that is making people, adding value to people's lives.
Now, what
So
what is the fallout from the webinar? Are you going to have is this just a talk, or what's the expectation for
okay.
people that will come in on this webinar?
Okay, the expectation, okay, is that after that webinar, I'm going to elicit a lot of questions from people. People are going to have deep questions, and then there will be opportunity for a one-on-one. If you want to do a one-on-one with me, you need to book that, and I can tell you that will not be freemium. That will be premium. So the idea is to put those questions to you and say, look, these are the questions that would bring out those things, those deep thoughts, those talents that you have, those things that you've been afraid to actually come out and say, look, this is what I love. This is what I love to do. And I want to do this thing. So I'm going to put those questions. That's why I said it's a discovery session. I'm not going to be the one telling you that, oh, this is your purpose, this is your passion, this is your whatever. But from the questions I put there, you write, I'll send you the materials. As long as you register, you can keep on reflecting on those questions. And if you need to have a one-on-one with me, you can book. My email will be there. You send me an email, you book a session, and then I'll be there for you.
Okay.
So these are the
now,
fallout.
now this webinar, is it just yourself, or you're with someone?
Yes, I'm going to be with a good friend of mine, Patrina Wetz. She's Patrina Wetz of Patrina Speaks. I chose Patrina specifically because we both retired from the same industry, from the oil and gas industry, and Patrina is living her purpose. So
yeah,
Patrina
I know Patrina well. She's been on my
yeah.
podcast, and
Leadership
Talk with
Thank you very
Adegoke. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And Patrina is also someone that is passionate about what she does. In fact, she calls herself Patrina Speaks. And then she's the Mojo Queen, Mojo, Mojo Queen.
Yeah.
So I'm having Patrina in as a guest to come and, let people know how she was able to connect from, living her career to, her purpose. And I also said something on one of the script that I shared on the media on LinkedIn. I think I shared it everywhere, that there was a study sometime, of an oil and gas company with presence in Nigeria. I don't want to mention that company. When they discovered that a lot of their staff, their personnel after retirement, they were just passing on. So you can imagine. So when you move from a place where you were occupied, where you were needed, where you have things to do, and then you now move to a space where nothing to do, you're just there. How will it be? And this is the reason why I'm saying this session is for everyone. It doesn't matter whether in fact, it's actually mostly for people who are in their careers, that look, you're in your career today, you're needed today, tomorrow a time comes when you need to retire, and then what? This is the time for you to discover your passion and let your passion lead you to your purpose.
Awesome.
So that you can keep that by the side, so that when you retire, you have something to fall back into, something to keep you active, something that you love. I shared the story of Ikigai. The Japanese Ikigai is a Japanese word for purpose. There was also a study when they realized that in a certain part of Japan, they realized that some of the citizens of that land, they were living up to over 100 years. In fact, I think Japan is one of those countries that are even thinking of increasing the retirement age, because people were living there. People are living long, over 100, so they are paying retirement, they are paying pension to people for a long time. So they did a study. A group of researchers did a study, carried out a study, and they were following these women everywhere. And they discovered that the one thing that these people were doing was they were doing what they loved. Some of them were into pottery, making clay pots. And so they make some nice clay pots and then sell it in the flea markets. It wasn't for them. It wasn't the money. It was the joy that the thing that they created is useful to someone. Some of them were into fishing.
Awesome.
So this is what we're talking about. So, living a purpose-driven life also increases your longevity because you're happy. The biologists say that when you're happy, there are some enzymes that are secreted in your body that even gives you, that makes you happy and gives you long life. And then also on the flip side, the biologists say that if you're unhappy or grumpy most of the time, there are also enzymes that are there that causes illnesses. So I've been able to see that living a life of purpose has something
Awesome.
to do with almost every part of our lives.
All
And
right.
this is why
Well
I'm
done.
out
Well
here
done.
saying this.
Well done. I think I just have one more question, but you've created a lot of energy, momentum. I see you everywhere, Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, the energy that you have is, combustible. I can
Thank
imagine
you, coach.
anyone that you come into
Thank you,
contact will
coach.
just catch fire. Because
Thank you,
you have
coach.
so
Thank
much.
you, coach. I'm
So
following the footsteps of the people before me. You said consistency compounds. You said we
yeah,
should just
yeah.
keep, so I'm following your footsteps.
No, no. I mean, we're so encouraged. We've seen you, and that's why we're here to celebrate, honor, and value you for what you're
Thank you so
doing.
much. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
I'm just so proud of who you are and what you represent, and I mean, we're seeing the transformation. Like I was telling my people in church today, the first thing you need is information.
Yeah.
And you meditate on it,
Yeah.
and shortly after that there's revelation, and the
Yeah.
revelation is in different levels,
Oh,
and
yes.
that's what leads to transformation. So we're seeing
Yes.
you taking on those stages, and it's so joyful for us to be part
Thank
of
you
your
so
journey.
much. Thank
Yeah,
you, and
thank
thank
you.
God. Thank God.
Yeah,
Thank God
yeah.
for
Now,
everything.
we just have one more question,
Yeah.
because since you are not letting the cat out of the bag,
Oh,
we
yes, I'm
want the
not.
people
That's
just, yes, yes. Now, the final question is, do you have any social media contacts if people want to follow you
Yeah. Yeah.
apart from
My social.
Instagram?
Yeah. 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 So I'm on Instagram as Abiola Shuremekun, at Abiola Shuremekun. I think there's ads in front of Instagram. And then I'm on LinkedIn as Abiola Shuremekun, and on Facebook as Abiola Shuremekun. So that's me. You
All
can
right.
find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram. And I'm also on
Wow.
Twitter, but I don't use the Twitter that much. I'm on
Well,
Twitter
I
as
think I think you also need to be there, because I mean, some of us, that's also where we show up, because there's there's speed on Twitter. There's speed,
oh, oh,
yeah.
oh.
There's speed,
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. And coach, as
Yeah.
I've said it, I have to do it. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Actually, Twitter is one place that I go for when I want to get, news on the go. So you
Yeah.
see the news tidbits, you get
Yeah.
a lot. You can get a lot of. In fact, if you're on Twitter, you don't even need the dailies. You get a lot
Within
of
five
news.
minutes, you already know what's happening,
Yeah, what's happening? Yeah, what's happening? So I agree
Yeah.
with you. Thank you,
And
coach. I
so
mean,
since your message is something that is needed globally, you need to
oh yeah,
position yourself also on Twitter,
oh yeah.
and you might just get it. And once you push the right hashtag, it goes viral. It
Wow,
goes viral.
wow,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
wow. We're
I
just learning
mean,
on those things.
yeah. I mean,
We've been in
there
the
was a.
corporate world a long time. We're not
I,
so
no, it's
social
okay. I mean,
media.
there was a particular day on Twitter, I think about a month ago, I had 105 followers.
Wow. On
Just
Twitter,
one, yeah, within 20 minutes.
just by one hashtag.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Then
That's awesome.
it's also good to get into spaces, Twitter spaces. Once you get into those rooms, I mean, they invite you on stage, and you can just share, what you do, and it's already in your bio, so it gives you more traction. Yeah,
Oh
it gives you
yeah.
more traction. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
I take that up. Thank you so much, coach. I
thank you
thank
so
thanks for
much.
that
Yeah.
heads up.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining us. It's been a
Yeah.
privilege sharing the platform with
Yeah.
my friend and fellow coach on the Maxwell Leadership platform, Abiola Shuremekun, an amazing lady, an author, woman of many parts. She's showing up globally and adding value. Thank you for
Thank
giving us
thank you
the
so much.
opportunity to interview you. All right.
Thank you, and thank you
Okay.
for your time too. I mean, thank you for your time, Coach Adegoke Omotala. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, and then
Yeah.
also for the people who have joined, I appreciate you too. I always say that when you're doing something and people come and join, I don't take it for granted. You could have been doing other things, but for the fact that you came and you listen, I mean, it's something that really takes so high. So thank you so much thank
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you for
I
joining us. And I
yeah.
hope a lot of you will come for that discovery session. Just click my bio, register. And for you to register, you'll be able to get the materials that I'm going to share. But if you don't register, well, you may not be able to get, because I'm thinking that maybe on the last day I'll just throw you open on Wednesday. I'll just throw open the link and then people can join it. But you join in, you listen in, but you may not get the materials. But if you join in, register and join in, you get the materials. So that's it. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
everyone, and
much.
thank you for watching. And have a beautiful week, everyone.
Have happy
Thank you.
Sunday. God bless you,
Happy
man.
Sunday to you too. God bless you
Okay.
too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.